Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. This is your June 2020 horoscope for Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising. So this is a big time for you Aries, and of course all of these events are going to happen throughout your chart in order as you have the original setup, the original makeup of the birth chart. So all of your signs are in their respected houses. And so this is a big time where there has been a lot of this Chiron activity going on in your first house, where you've really gone through this experience of healing. And for those of you who haven't healed, this is a big time of healing as these vulnerabilities, these insecurities of who you are and the way that you're expressing yourself and presenting yourself to others is a huge theme in your life right now, Aries. But also, one of the big things here is that we've had this nodal switch happen here at the beginning of May, where these nodes have left your 4th and 10th house axis of your past, of your family, of your home life, and where you are headed. And now it is in this zone of what you can learn and experience. And so, with the North Node being in your 3rd house of Gemini and the South Node in your 9th house of Sagittarius, there is a lot of this need to let go of the old stories and beliefs of the past, of where you've been, especially as you have been diving a lot into the past with this North Node in Cancer, into your past connections, into your family, into your home life. But really, with this North Node in Gemini in your 3rd house, this is opening you up to new ideas, to new experiences, to new conversations, to new connections with others. And so this is really a big experience and opportunity that is here for you to be social, to collaborate, to connect with others. And of course, we're in this pandemic, but this is still a huge opportunity for you, Aries, to go ahead and connect and collaborate and to bring this teamwork and experience and opportunity to grow into your life. So, a lot of communication that is open here for you moving ahead here into June, and especially with Venus being retrograde here in your 3rd house as well. This is a Venus retrograde that has been happening here in your 3rd house, where it really has been a time to reconsider the connections that you're making, the things that you're learning, the experiences and opportunities that you're having within your familiar surroundings. So, a lot of these different opportunities opening up to you in your life, with Gemini being there in your 3rd house. You are very, very direct, very open when it comes to communication. So, this is a very big experience of looking at these connections that you have with your siblings, with your neighbors, as far as communicating and thinking and learning and putting your ideas out there. Are the people that you're connecting of true value to you? And for some of you, are the thoughts that you're thinking and the things that you're deciding to learn and digest in terms of information, is this truly healthy for you? And the big moment of this reveal is really going to happen when we have Venus go retrograde Kazemi in your 3rd house on June 3rd. And so here on June 3rd, we have this Venus retrograde that is going Kazemi. It is coming into this inferior conjunction with the Sun, where the Sun will burn out Venus. This is a blackout. So Venus will be invisible in the sky at this point. And this is really a moment for Venus to go through this extreme change and healing process before coming back out into the light, coming out of this process here. And so, as Venus is going Kazemi here on June the 3rd, there is a lot that needs to be looked at in terms of, once again, your values that you are connecting to, whether this is the people that you're communicating, the thoughts that you're thinking, the information that you're opening yourself up to. There's a lot here that needs to be revisited and looked at in terms of, is this valuable? Is this worthy to you in your life? And a lot of creative energy that you have, of course, Aries, as this is Gemini in your third house. So a lot of creative ideas, a lot of thoughts on how you can create and have and hold these new experiences and opportunities for yourself. But remember that it all goes back to that South Node in your ninth house, letting go of those old belief systems, allowing yourself to open up to new ideas and new forms of connection within your environment. And so for many of you as well, there's this lack of travel that is happening here as well. And so a lack of travel, a lack of belief systems, a lack of philosophy, right? We're seeing all of these endings extremely taking place here in your ninth house of philosophy, of higher knowledge, of travel, of this journey, this quest to seek out this higher understanding. A lot of change is going on here in terms of what you are releasing. And of course, this is going to be coupled by this full moon penumbral lunar eclipse that is happening here on June 5th. This is going to be an eclipse that is in a conjunction with your South Node in your ninth house. And so with this full moon lunar eclipse in a conjunction with the South Node in your ninth house, it's a major release of these belief systems, of this questioning that you have, this higher knowledge, this higher understanding, this philosophy that you're living by. For some of you, you're changing your faith, you're changing your views on the world, on your future. And so there's a lot of change that is happening here in terms of traveling and exploration and seeking out this higher understanding. And so major time of letting go of your old belief systems, your old philosophies that you're standing by, and opening yourself up to new opportunities to learn, to take in new information that you've never experienced before in this space. So a lot of releasing in terms of your thoughts and beliefs that is really taking place here. And of course, this is a different eclipse season that we are entering into here in June, as this will be a 3-part eclipse, right? So instead of starting off with this solar eclipse in Gemini, we're starting off with a lunar eclipse in Sagittarius to start to end out and clear out these Cancer, Capricorn eclipses. And so this is a major moment where we're starting this eclipse season by letting go, by releasing, in order to go through this intense change, as an eclipse season is always this very intense change that has to take place in your life. And one of the big things here about this eclipse is that with any eclipse, it is a moment where it is calling for a change. But if you're not going to make the change, it is going to somehow pull you into this radical change on its own. And so it is a big time to not try to hold on to the beliefs and philosophies, but to allow yourself to be open to new ideas and new ways of understanding, as this is forcing you and pulling you strongly into a major change. So moving ahead here on the 18th of June, Mercury will station retrograde. And this is the second Mercury retrograde of the year. Of course, we always have 3 Mercury retrogrades per year, right? So this is a very frequent retrograde, where there's something big to say about how Mercury retrograde is not as serious as we make it out to be. Right? We're dealing with this very small planet that is dealing with little details, little information, little facts, little technology and gadgets that we are dealing with, Right, so there's something where this Mercury retrograde is going to be very small, and especially for you, it is very important that you are remembering how small this Mercury retrograde is going to be, because this is happening in Cancer, in your fourth house of home and family, of the past, of your internal feelings. And so this is a big time to review how you are feeling. Are you dwelling in the past? Are you getting lost in fear and pain and experiences that you have already gone through? And so with this Mercury retrograde, big time to really take note of the feelings that need to be cleared out, letting go of these old past experiences is a huge theme for you, Aries, moving on ahead into this new space. And so, once again, removing these old belief systems, removing these old feelings that are no longer serving you is the key to moving forward into this extreme change that is opening up the doorway to new possibilities. And following this, on the 20th, the sun will enter into Cancer, and this is starting us off on a brand new season. So this is a shift in the seasons where we are leaving behind this fast-paced, informational, impulsive, energetic, playful energy of Gemini, coming more into a space of healing and connecting and feeling. And so as we're coming into this space here of Cancer, things becoming super emotional, especially for you, Aries, once again, as your chart is set up with the signs in their respected houses. So this is an extremely emotional time for you, Aries, as the sun is lighting up that fourth house. There's a big time of really wanting to connect to family, really wanting to, once again, delve into your past, delve into your emotions, really being connected, really going through this process of really feeling out your feelings is going to be very strong for you, Aries. And so it is a time, once again, where you want to be conscious of what feelings are serving you and what feelings are not serving you in this space. Now, following this, on the 21st, we have a new moon solar eclipse in Cancer. And so this is the second part of this eclipse. Of course, we're going to end up with the third part of the eclipse in July. So we will talk about that third part in the horoscope for July. But this is something big here to say about this solar eclipse happening in your fourth house, where this is really a new opportunity to feel something new, to connect to something new. Right? So once again, leaving behind these old past emotions and feelings and allowing yourself to feel into something new. And it is something big to say about how feeling is driving you, Aries, as you are a fire sign. So you are feeling with passion, with love, with confidence, with playfulness, with excitement, right? You are a feeler. And so with this energy strongly happening down in your fourth house, you are a deep feeler. You put all of your passion and drive into your life experience. And this is a big time here of really opening yourself up to new feelings, right? So letting go of these old feelings, not putting so much of this passion and this emphasis on these past feelings that are no longer serving you in your life. And this is very big for those of you with Aries rising. You may also feel this if you are an Aries sun or moon, but I definitely recommend this for Aries rising. Now, moving on ahead, on the 23rd of June, we have Neptune stationing retrograde, and this is happening back in your 12th house, right? So we've had Neptune sitting back here in your 12th house for a very long time, where there has been a lot of this daydreaming and fantasizing and a lot of subconscious activity going on here. Many of you feeling this desire to travel, to escape into your own world, to really take this time to rest, to recuperate, to regenerate. And with Neptune stationing retrograde, it is a big time to look at really your subconscious blocks and patterns and making sure that you are not escaping or disconnecting for the sake of trying to run away from reality, but instead for the sake of healing and regenerating and allowing yourself to have this time of deep introspection, to look deep within yourself. And so, with Neptune being here, again, remember that Neptune is at those last degrees of Pisces, where this is very intense, right? These last degrees of Pisces are heavily influenced by Pluto and Mars, where we're seeing this very chaotic energy, this very destructive energy, this addictive behavior, these compulsions, this escapism habit, this very reckless energy that is happening here at these last degrees of Pisces. And so this is a big time, again, to look at, are you trying to run away from the gravity of a situation that needs to be addressed and faced? Or are you coming into this space to disconnect for the sake of finding that deep clarity and introspection within yourself? And so big time, as this whole period has been for you with Neptune being back in your 12th house, for meditation, for deep introspection, for dream journaling, for really looking into these little messages and symbols that your subconscious is bringing to the surface. And so a lot here in terms of really once again connecting deep within yourself, Aries. Now moving on ahead with this Venus direct happening on the 25th of June. This is finally the end of this Venus retrograde cycle, where this is Venus coming direct. It is stopping, starting to move into direct motion here. And this is really coming out of an experience of, once again, looking into your creative ideas, looking in how you can connect to people. And as it comes direct, this is a big time to start to collaborate, to start to express yourself, to communicate, to put your ideas and your creations out there into the forefront. So big creative moment for you, Aries, in this month of June. Also here, the last thing that we have is on the 27th of June, when Mars enters into your very sign and its dignity in Aries. And so this is Mars entering into your first house, where you are going to come off very strong, very direct in your life, especially when it comes to the way that you are presenting yourself to others. So big time to pay attention to, are you coming on too strong? Are you being too direct, too aggressive when it comes to your situations here in life, in your life experiences, and how you are presenting yourself to others? Also big time for you to use this passion and drive and motivation to push towards what you want to see in your reality. So big time for communication, for expression, for pushing yourself into these new experiences, Aries. Now, I also pulled some cards for your June 2020 horoscope as well. And we have a lot that is going on here, Aries, right? A lot of cards to go through. So first off, the first card we have here is air, right? And we talked about this, how there's a lot going on in that third house of Gemini for you, where it's a big time for communication. It's a big time for thinking, for learning, for using this air energy of really working with the information and the ideas, fully expressing yourself and connecting with others. So big time of collaboration, big time of teamwork, big time of partnership, big time of really getting your creative ideas out there to the forefront. Next card we have here is Virgo in reverse. So one of the big issues that is happening here for those of you with Aries, is you're not serving yourself, right? You're not paying close enough details to yourself. And a lot that came up earlier on about your health, about your wellness, about your routine, when we had that full moon in Virgo, right? So big time to really pay attention to your life and the details of your life and making sure that everything is well planned out and well sorted out. As this is this Virgo energy in your 6th house of your day-to-day routines, of your work, of your physical reality. Next card we have here is fire. You have a ton of passion, a ton of energy, a ton of creativity this month of June. So big time to really be direct, be straightforward, to express yourself, to go after what you want to experience, which is something that you do already, Aries. But big time, especially with Chiron being in your 1st house, that you're not holding yourself back from fully expressing yourself, which takes us to this next card here, the 1st house, right? So this is a big time, once again, of presenting yourself to the world, putting yourself in these experiences of fully expressing yourself and fully investing yourself into life. So big time of self-expression, big time of creativity, big time of putting yourself out there for others to see. Next card we have here is Saturn return. Remember, especially with Pluto retrograde and Jupiter retrograde sitting in your 10th house, that this is going to take a little bit of time to manifest what you want to create and build in your life, right? There's a lot of extreme changes going on in your career house that started off of that Pluto-Saturn conjunction in January. So a lot of extreme energies, a lot of intensity happening up in your career house in terms of the changes that you need to make with your career, with your goals, with your status, with what you are striving for in your life. And so this is going to be something where this takes a great deal of time and consistency to build and create. And so one of the big things here is not to rush this process, right? And this is very, very possible for those of you, as Mars is coming into your 1st house, of this energy of trying to rush and be very, very quick in pushing the agenda. But once again, Aries, make sure that you are taking your time to fully express and plan out and look at all the details. Remember that Virgo card that came up. So a little bit of time here that it's going to take to build what you want to have for yourself. Next card here is Leo in reverse. And so one of the big things that we want to look at here is your confidence, your self-esteem, Aries, especially with Chiron sitting in your 1st house, that this can be a big time of really feeling these insecurities around your image, around the way that you're coming off to others, the presentation. And so big time to let go of the way that it has to look, the way that you have to present yourself, and really believing in yourself, really holding that strength and confidence within yourself, as you normally do with Leo sitting in your 5th house. So big time to believe in yourself, big time to hold that confidence, that pride, that self-esteem, to really create what you want to experience here. Next card we have here is the part of fortune. So this is a big time for abundance. This is a big time for good fortune in your life. And so there's a big question here of whether you are going to pass off this opportunity. Because remember that this is a big time of expressing yourself and holding that confidence within yourself. And if you are not in this space of fully expressing and fully holding that confidence, of creating and expressing who you are, then you are going to miss out on a big opportunity for growth. Next two cards that we have here are two cards that go together very much for you, Aries, the Sun and Saturn in reverse. So once again, that 10th house and that 5th house being ruled by these planets of authority, where do you have the confidence? Do you have the drive? Do you have the consistency? Do you have the discipline to be in this dominant role where you are fully expressing yourself, fully investing yourself, and going after what you want? And so a lot that is taking place here in terms of needing to tap into that healthy self-esteem and confidence that you have, and rising to the occasion with that Capricorn sitting up in your 10th house. And remembering that we do have Saturn here in your 11th house, and it is going to retrograde back into Capricorn very soon here in July. But remember that we are clearing out this Saturn and Capricorn energy here. So Saturn will return back into Aquarius in December. And so it is a big time to tap into this Aquarian energy back in your 11th house, of your goals, of your achievements, of your friend circles, of your future accomplishments and hopes and wishes and dreams being truly fulfilled. So with Saturn being in your 11th house, Aries, strong time of really allowing yourself to achieve greatness in your life. And remember that this is coming back very strongly with Jupiter also joining in with Saturn in December in the Great Conjunction. So big opportunities that are coming for you to succeed, for you to do great things, but this is taking some time to build this up. Last card here, we've been talking about this throughout this entire horoscope. The 5th house, creativity. Big time, Aries, for you to express yourself, for you to be creative, for you to connect with others, right? Huge, huge time for creativity. Next card here is the 3 of Cups, where this is a big opportunity, a big experience for you to celebrate, to connect, to collaborate, to team up with others, right? So this expression energy continues to come out very strongly here for you, Aries, where it is a big time for you to connect with others. It's a big time for you to learn, to communicate, to network, to put your creative ideas out there for others to see. So very, very big time of partnership, of connection, of creative expression and communication. Next card here is the King of Wands in reverse. So are you in this space of not fully expressing yourself in your true passion and your true joy and true excitement? There's something big about this King of Wands that is strongly connected to you, Aries, that is truly mastering yourself in expressing and holding that confidence and that joy and happiness and excitement for life. So it is a big time of, once again, remembering that you are here to connect to your confidence, to your self-esteem, to fully express yourself, to fully enjoy yourself, to fully hold that confidence and self-esteem that you have. Our next 3 energy here, the 3 of Pentacles, Great time to study, great time to look into new details and information, great time to build up new information that you can learn and bring into your life to grow, to learn, to better yourself. And so once again, that third house being activated, it is a big time for you to take the things that you have learned and apply it into your life. So big time for learning, communicating, big time for pulling in information and using that to your advantage. Next card here we have is the Two of Swords. Big choice, big decision that needs to be made here in terms of what direction are you going in? Right? Is this a time where you're going to go backwards or a time where you're going to feel and experience something new? Right? We talked about all of that Cancer activity that's going to be taking place down in your fourth house, where there's a lot of trying to go backwards into the past, trying to hold on to old feelings and old experiences. But it is a big time of really evaluating what is the decision, especially with Mercury retrograde being down in your fourth house, evaluating these feelings and experiences and making the decision of what direction are you headed into. Next two cards here, very much connected to this. We have the Seven of Wands and the Three of Swords. Are you trying to keep your guard up and hold on to this struggle, this difficulty from the past? Right? This is a chaotic moment for you in this space of trying to hold back and trying to fight against yourself by really staying in this place of pain and frustration and sadness and disappointment and regret, right? A lot of you in this space of regret and revisiting the past, but big time to really let go of this so that you can fully experience this joy and this expression and confidence and pride that you can have to really push your creative ideas into the world at this time and to learn through new experiences. Next card here is the Eight of Cups. So once again, going along with this theme, it is time to let go of the past. Let go of the past so that you can go down this new journey, right? There's something about this where in this deck, this is a man who is here praying, and listening to the answers, taking the offering to experience something new, right? Because this leads to the Nine of Cups, where we are laying all of our feelings and problems all out on the table, fully releasing and letting go. So this is a path here that needs to be taken for transformation, for change, for growth, of fully allowing yourself to let go, leave the past behind, and take this new journey. Next card here we have is the Four of Swords. But we are feeling this need to try to hold on to these old feelings, right? There's something big here about this insecurity with the Four of Swords of, are we trying to hold on to something old? Because remember that we really want this Four of Swords to be right side up so that we are comfortable and secure and stable and relaxed, right? But with this in reverse, there's something big to say about these fears and insecurities and old feelings that are coming up to the surface, especially with this sun that will come into your fourth house along with the Mercury retrograde and the new moon solar eclipse. So this is pushing you through extreme emotional changes as it is bringing up these old feelings to the surface. And so big question here is whether you are going to stay in this place of holding on to these old feelings that no longer serve you. Right? And big story about this Uranus in your second house, where there's major changes in your security and your stability and your self-worth. Right? So big time of going through these extreme changes to elevate yourself in your worth and self-esteem. Letting go fully of the past. Next card we have here is the Queen of Cups. Time for healing, time to nurture yourself. There's something big about the Queen of Cups where she knows intuitively how to nurture herself, how to feel, how to connect, how to heal, right? And so are you nurturing your emotions? Are you nurturing your feelings? Are you listening to your intuition? Are you allowing yourself to go through the healing process, Aries? And so it is a big time of knowing your power, knowing how to heal, knowing how to let go, knowing how to grow. And notice that we've had a lot of this Cups energy coming up where it really has been a big time for you, Aries, coming into this month of June for healing, for clearing, for cleansing, for allowing yourself to go through this process of flow. Are you allowing yourself to flow in your life? Next card here is the Three of Wands in reverse. Are you denying yourself this journey, this experience? This is a brand new experience to go ahead and go along on this journey, on this path. Once again, with your third house being heavily activated by this Gemini North Node and Venus retrograde, which is coming into that Cazimi. And so with all of this energy going on in your third house, are you really going to pass up this creative opportunity, this opportunity to communicate, to express yourself, to have new experiences, to allow new knowledge and wisdom to come into your life, to have new joy, right? And so, big time of really not rejecting these new experiences from happening here. Last card here is the Two of Cups. Big time, Aries, for connection, for partnership, for teamwork, for negotiating, for exchanging your ideas, right? A lot of this emotional connection with yourself and others that is coming up very strongly for you, Aries. It's a big time to express yourself. So that was your horoscope for Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising for June 2020. Thank you all so much for joining. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And I want to thank you all once again so much for joining. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.